But the air that came from her hair, you lose your own originality. If there is anything or anyone that is classier than you at the moment, it's a better version of you. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Franca, and on this channel we talk all things that allow us to become better versions of ourselves. The very moment that I decided I wanted to be elegant and classy, I started watching a couple of YouTube videos on how to be that version of myself. And one thing that cut across most of the videos I watched, which I did not like, was the assumption that just because you are at a certain age, you need to automatically have certain manners. But I beg to differ, because not all of us grow up in the same social and economic situations, and therefore not everybody had the opportunity to grow up in high-class neighborhoods where such manners are easily bequeathed to individuals. But all the same, I've learned a lot from them, and today I'm going to share with you 7 things that elegant people do not do and mistakes that you should avoid if you want to become sophisticated. And if you find yourself in any of the habits or mistakes that I'm about to share, don't feel ashamed of yourself, because refinement is a journey. Come on girl, it's a journey from class to class, and congratulations to you, because the fact that you're watching this video means that you want to become elegant and graceful. And today, the first mistake I would like us to look at is leaving your hair till it becomes crusty and smelly. The other day, I was walking back from church with one lady. I didn't know her though, but we were just walking together. And guys, she was good looking, but the air that came from her hair was horrible, for the lack of a better word. It was smelling, honestly. And I wonder how the people who sat beside her at church would feel. Why would you put the people around you into so much discomfort with the stench that comes from your hair? You need to constantly check in on your hair to see if it's in good condition, especially if you have braids. Some people wear very good wigs, but if you remove that wig, the cornrow under the wig is so smelly and crusty. Accidents happen all the time, so let's assume that you accidentally fall, and unfortunately you are not wearing a wig cap and your wig falls. How will you feel about the cornrow under your hair? It's up to you to judge. Make sure your hair is getting fresh air so it can smell fresh all the time. Take good care of your hair, because that speaks so much about your appearance. And this next one makes you look so primitive and unpolished. Unfortunately, I've been trying hard to get a way to describe it, but I could not, except I can demonstrate to you. So it's this one. Come on, we will be at a work meeting and some people will be doing this thing. Why? Like, why? You should be able to control yourself when that edge comes. One thing you can do to avoid this is to be careful of the food that you eat, so that it doesn't trigger this kind of things when you're in public and you end up embarrassing yourself. Next thing you could be doing that is ruining your elegance is yelling people's name, especially from a far distance. This makes you look so awkward. You realize that anytime you shout somebody's name across a distance, you draw people's attention to yourself. But why should you shout somebody's name when you can just call them on the phone or beckon the person next to them to draw their attention to you? That's an elegant thing you could be doing, is not being yourself. This may be considered a moot point, but I don't think that we should be copycats of people that we think are our mentors. Instead, we should allow them to inspire us, to spark our own creativity in our lives. Being a classy and elegant version of yourself is better than trying to act like your classy mentor. The downside to doing that is that you lose your own originality, because even though your stories may be similar, they are never the same. You guys have different personalities, so it's not everything that works for that mentor that will work for you. If there is anything or anyone that is classier than you at the moment, it's a better version of you. So you should try to work towards becoming that better version instead of copying and imitating others. The next mistake you could be making that is not elegant is not being teachable. I know that I just said that you should be yourself, but yes, you should be a teachable version of yourself. There's this saying that a foolish man thinks he knows everything, and a wise man understands how little he knows. Do not continuously insist that your ways of doing things are always right. For all you know, you could be wrong. Like, accept it when you're wrong and be willing to learn from others. That shows how humble and mature you are. That shows that you're willing to add to yourself and not always stagnating yourself because you think that your knowledge is the only knowledge that there is to be learned. Next, an elegant thing you could be doing is yawning too loud in public. So yawning, for all I know, is a reflex action, but you should be polite with it when it happens in public. You can at least cover your mouth or not open your mouth wide when you're yawning in public. Some people will even yawn and do ho 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 and say something after it. There are some things you can do in private and not in public. And in as much as yawning can happen anywhere, you should be polite and moderate with it. Next, an elegant mistake you could be making is eating at every chance. Excuse my words, guys, but if you find yourself always eating and nibbling something at every chance, please stop, because you're not a ruminant. You are not a ruminant, crying out loud. If you're traveling, make sure that you do not buy too many snacks on the way, except you intend taking them home without opening them, which sometimes can be so much a hard thing to do. Try not to buy so much or even eat so much in the bus, because you know what happens when you overeat when you're traveling. Having one or something small will do for the day. Control yourself not to eat so much. If you go to parties, control how you eat. Not because this is free food, you just jump on it like that and eat it anyhow. I wouldn't blame myself or anyone when you occasionally behave in ways that doesn't befit someone who's trying to become elegant and classy. However, you should know that it's a journey from class to class and it will take time. So make sure that you're trying your best not to give up on yourself. Become a better version of yourself this year. If you've enjoyed this video so far, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like the video so that it can spread to more people. Thanks for watching, guys, and until I see you next time, take care.